You're listening to A Tiny Homestead, the podcast comprised entirely of conversations with homesteaders, cottage food producers, and crafters. I'm your host, Mary Lewis. This episode is sponsored by Greenbush Twins Company, where creativity and community grow hand in hand. Just like a thriving garden or a well-loved homestead, the best things are built with care, purpose, and heart. Through thoughtful design, storytelling, and handcrafted goods, they're helping people celebrate a simpler, more meaningful way of living. Learn more at Greenbush Twins Company. Today I'm talking with Jennifer at Magnolia Morning Company in Georgia. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. How's the weather where you are?
Actually, it's a beautiful day. It's not so hot. We've had some really hot weather here in Georgia, like scorching hot. But today is probably in the high 80s and it's calm. We might have some storms later on this afternoon, so it's a pretty nice day here.
Same here in Minnesota. Yesterday, it felt like September. It was 65 degrees for the high here.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's the perfect weather. I think high 60s are the perfect temperature to me. But then again, here lately, I'm cold and hot and cold and hot. So, I feel like I've got an internal thermometer that's going crazy all the time.
Yeah, it was a beautiful reprieve from the 3 weeks of tropical dew points we'd had before
Oh,
that.
I bet.
We don't get that in Minnesota very often, and my
Mm,
God, was I reminded how much I hate humidity.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm. It's awful.
so does my beautiful Australian Shepherd dog. She was dying. She kept
I
looking at
bet.
me like, "Save me," and I'm thinking, "I can't save you. I can't shave you."
You
So
know, I went to Michigan one time and got off the airplane up there, and I immediately felt like I could breathe so much better. I
yeah.
was like, oh, the air is not heavy. It just feels wonderful. And I kept asking people, is it like this all the time? Can you breathe? And the air doesn't feel so heavy. And they're like, yeah, what are you talking about? They just don't have a clue what it's like down here with all the humidity.
Yeah, and, like, Minnesota's supposed to be like Michigan, but this summer
Mm-hmm.
has been ridiculous, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it because 'cause I'm very excited about it. This
Mm-hmm.
heat that we've been having all summer has been wonderful for our gardens,
Mm-hmm.
and, this week is tomato ripening week. The tomatoes are starting to
Yes.
ripen in our garden.
Yes, yes. My son has a little small garden as well, and he's been excited about his tomatoes. So I can understand that.
I bet he doesn't have 190 plants getting ready to pop.
Holy cow, no. But if I would let him, he probably would. He
Yeah.
has a green thumb. I unfortunately have a black thumb. I, I want to see things grow. I enjoy watching them grow. I especially enjoy, fruits and vegetables, but I don't do well taking care of them.
Uh-huh.
I don't. But he definitely has the gift of being able to. My dad was really good with that. My dad could grow anything. And my son has inherited that gene, I believe. So he grows beautiful things. He's got plants all throughout his room and a garden out here, and he takes care of all the flowers and all the things. So growing is a beautiful thing. But 100, how many did you say? 180?
Over 190 tomato plants in the garden.
Wow, that's
Yep.
impressive.
Yep, and our friends and neighbors will be very happy because 'cause they'll be buying, canning tomatoes from us until probably mid-September.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're excited because the last 2 summers, we haven't really had very many because the weather was not kind to us. So
Yeah.
we've been waiting and crossing everything we have and holding our breath all summer to see
Mm.
how this crop did, and it's looking really, really good. We just brought in the first, ripening tomatoes. They're not red yet, they're not ready to eat, but they are
Right.
definitely blushed, so
That's fantastic. Well, good for y'all. I'm glad it's going to be fruitful for you
I
this
hope
year.
so. I hope so. I hope so. Alright, so tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do, Jennifer.
Well, I am a mother of five and a grandmother to two. I have two little grandboys that are 8 and 4. And I am a full-time everything. And I'm sure you know what that means, but I'm a full-time mom, a full-time grandmother, a full-time worker. I have a full-time job. I've been working since I was 15 years old. Work is just what I do. I'm a worker bee. Married to a wonderful man for almost 35 years who is also a worker bee. And we just stay busy a lot. Um, and there's always something to do or something to take care of or somewhere to be or some errand to go or some crisis happening. We seem to have a lot of crises in our family. I don't know why that is, but it's a lot of fires to put out a lot of the time.
Mhm.
So, personally, that's me in a nutshell. Just busy all the time. And that is how, Magnolia Morning Company came about. I needed to slow down. And when I say needed, I mean mentally and physically needed to slow down. My body started screaming at me. And I had some episodes of some medical things that made me take pause and go, okay, I've got to quit stressing out so much. I've got to calm this down. I'm a natural worrier, so my brain stays going all the time, and I just think things through. I think about every scenario, and I think about it backwards and forwards, and it mentally takes a toll on you, and I didn't know how to shut that off. And I would be busy doing things for my family and taking them here and there and letting them do the things they enjoyed. And when my husband, bless his heart, he almost works 7 days a week. When he gets a little time off, he goes to do some things that he enjoys with his friends. And I'm standing around one day and I'm going, everybody else is doing something and I don't really know what to do.
Mhm.
I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to, I'm just, nobody was in the house and there I was, cleaning the kitchen or mopping the floor or something. And I was like, Jennifer, just slow down, just stop, just take a pause and just rest. And I realized I didn't quite know how to do that. And the more I thought about it and had some conversations with my girlfriends, and they were like, yeah, Jennifer, you stay going all the time and doing, you need to slow down. But I just didn't understand how I was supposed to do that, and I guess I've grown up thinking that rest meant being lazy.
Mhm.
And that's kind of how I equated it for so long. So when I would stop and try and rest, I felt guilty. And I felt like I didn't deserve to do that. There were other things calling my name, that I needed to take care of this or do that or go somewhere and handle this. And it just became harder and harder for me to do. And so when I had these conversations with my friends and things and thought a lot about it and put some time thinking about it and reading about rest and relaxation, I realized, I need this. I mentally need it. I physically need it. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with rest, and that I didn't have to have anybody else's permission to do that. So I started trying to figure out what I could do when I rest. I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes it's hard just to sit still. And I didn't know how to sit still, but I also didn't know really what I enjoyed to do if I were to rest, if I were to find something that I wanted to do to entertain myself, to do something just for me, what would I do?
Mhm.
And so in thinking of all that, and I was talking to my husband one night and I was telling him about it. And I said, I bet there's other people out there like me. I bet there are women that are my age, and I'm in my early 50s, and I bet there are women that are like me that don't really know how to rest and don't know what to do when you rest, or even maybe don't even know what they like anymore because they've spent the entirety of their life taking care of somebody else, which is what I feel like I've been doing. And not that I'm complaining, that's just, what I did all my life. I took care of somebody, whether it be my parents or my children or my grandchildren or something. And so we were talking about it, and I was like, a light bulb went off, and I thought, why don't I put something together and share it with other women and let them know that it's okay if we rest, if we stop, if we just take a pause, if we just collect our thoughts, or we just have some me time. It's so mentally important to have that me time. And I'm just now learning this, because I've not done that my entire life. I've not done that. I've always been a doer and a fixer, and I wanted to make everybody else okay. I wanted to do whatever was necessary, jump whatever hurdle there was to make somebody else's life easier. And I didn't complain about that. That's just what I did. And I enjoyed it for many, many years. I enjoyed it. And but nobody ever stepped up to make my life better or easier. And I was starting to realize that maybe I needed some of that. I needed somebody else to say, Jennifer, you don't have to fix this for me. Let me do something for you. Let me give you something. Let me help you take a pause. Let me make your life a little easier. And so, long story short, that's where Magnolia Morning Company came from. I wanted to give something to women to know that they can just take a pause, that investing in their self is so utterly important, that we can't give to anybody else until we give to ourselves first. Because you can't give from an empty cup, can't pour from an empty cup. And we do it most often. We dip out of nothing, and we take that lack of energy that we have, and we take care of, and we do for people all the time, every day. But we need to replenish that in ourselves. So that's what this is about. When I was little, I grew up, for the lack of better terminology, in the South, and we were poor. And I don't remember living in a house that had running water. I used an outhouse for many years as our bathroom. And unfortunately, my parents were alcoholics. And so, although they did not mistreat me in any way, but when they drank, they would mistreat each other. There was a lot of arguing and yelling and those kind of things. So I spent a lot of time trying to hide, per se, and stay out of the way, not to cause any friction or problems. And then I started my first attempt at trying to fix things for people, even when I was young, because I thought if I could do things for my mom and dad to make them happy, then they would be nicer to each other, and there wouldn't be any arguing that day or anything like that. So when I would try and hide and stay out of the way when they were, drinking and not acting on their best behavior, I would go out to our front yard, which had this unbelievably big magnolia tree. And I played under that magnolia tree. And that was my home away from home. That was my spot. I climbed it. I played under it with all my cats. We had tons of cats in my house, and they were all outside cats, but I loved them. They were like my little kids. We played store. We played, I rode bikes and put the cats in my little basket with me and rode around, But that magnolia tree was my home base. That was where I felt the safest. I took naps there. I brought food out there. I had picnics out there. That was my calm. And so that's where the name came from for this business, was because that was my calm space. If I had to think of any place in the world that was my calm space, that magnolia tree was. So that's where Magnolia Morning came from. Morning being just that each day is a new beginning. And I wanted to project that in the name of my business. So with that said, I put it all together and came up with this company. And I want to give women permission every month to know that they don't have to have permission. I want to give them the okay to say, hey, you can just take a minute. You can just stop what you're doing, and you can just relax and enjoy something that is meant just for you. You don't have to say, hey, do you mind if I go here? Or hey, let me take 5 minutes here. Just do it. You've got something in front of you that's made just for you. I thought about it. I've put these things together for women that I thought they would enjoy. And I want you to just take a pause. I want you to take 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, however long you want to, whether it's the first thing every morning or if it's late in the evening after everyone goes to bed or I don't know, when you come home from work and you just want some downtime, whenever is convenient for you. I want you to carve some time out, and I want you to open that box, and I want you just to enjoy some of the things that I've put in there. And that's what Magnolia Morning Company is about. So
Very nice. So what will the women get when they sign up for this?
well, every month is going to be different, of course, but there'll be some few things that are staples. I want to include some things that I enjoy. Like, I have to say, I'm a coffee drinker.
Me
Do
too.
you drink coffee? Okay.
Addict, yes.
Yeah, coffee just calms me a little bit. And so I'm going to include some coffee in your box every month. And because I also enjoy some hot tea, I'm going to include that as well. So you can try it. And it's probably going to be some things that maybe you've never tried before, but I want you to be adventurous and I want you to try it one time and see what you think. So each month you're going to have something to drink. Okay. And then you're also something that's going to be a staple every month is you're going to get a new scent of a beautiful candle every month. I don't know if people realize how calming scents can be to you, but I can light a candle in a room and then walk by and smell that, and then all of a sudden just take a deep breath and go, you know. So I want you to be able to enjoy that each month. And I've taken a lot of time to smell hundreds of candles. Matter of fact, I went one time to a store that sells candles and lotions and stuff with my son. And we were in there for over an hour. And he looked at me when we left. And he said, Mama, I think you smelled every scent in there. I said, I did.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and you bought only one thing. And I said, yep. I said, because that's the only scent that resonated with me. Everything else, it didn't do anything for me. I wanted to do something for me. So I smelled of them all, and he just laughed. He said, I've never met anybody like you before, Mama. I said, that's okay. You've got a unique mom. But I've smelled of all these scents, and all of them did something for me, and I hope they'll do something for everybody else too. But I want you to be able to get this box every month, and I want you to find your favorite cozy place, wherever that is. For everybody, I'm sure it's different. It could be your front porch. It could be your back porch on a screen porch. It could be inside in your bed. It could be in a chair or a rocker or wherever, or even in your front lawn, wherever is comfortable for you, that you feel the most relaxed. And I want you to just open this box, and I want you just to read and enjoy and experience everything that's in it, along with something to drink and something beautiful to smell. I want to include a craft per se. We're not talking something that you've got to go buy supplies for and all those things. Anything you need to do this craft is going to be included. I want to make it easy for you. But I think women sometimes forget that doing things like being crafty can be fun. If you've raised kids, you know that sometimes being crafty comes with school projects and last minute things, and it gets frustrating, and nobody wants to have to do all those things. So sometimes we get a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth about being crafty. But I used to, years ago, own a business where I went around and did signs for people. We did craft parties where you made your own wooden sign for home decor in your house. And the number of women that told me they had no idea they would enjoy that was amazing. Every party we had women that would say, oh, I didn't know I'd enjoy doing this. I didn't know I would enjoy painting and staining and doing all these things. And it's because we just don't take time. We
Mhm.
don't take time to experience some of the things in life that are out there because we're so busy doing for somebody else. So that's the purpose of having some type of craft in here, is because I want you to experience the joy of making something for yourself and being able to see it and use it, and experience that downtime. And then there are going to be some other things in boxes that are going to come. One of the things that you're going to get in a box is a journal, to use. Now, I know not everybody journals, and I know there are going to be some women out there that go, I don't want to journal. I don't write. I don't spend time writing. And that's okay. I've never been a consistent journaler either. But one thing I have learned is that if I take the time to write down some thoughts, I can, one, possibly see my thought process a little clearer. And two, when I go back and read it, I understand a little better about where my mind was at the moment. So it gives me some clarity that I may not always have had. So I encourage women to use a journal. I don't mean you have to put an entry in it every day or every time you do something, but I would encourage women to use it when maybe they feel a little conflicted, or maybe even a little sad or down about something, or confused, or whatever. I would encourage them to write their thoughts down and maybe go back at certain times and reread them. And I think it'll give you some clarity that you didn't know you could get from writing words on a piece of paper. I've always been a writer. I've enjoyed writing. I used to write poetry. I wrote poetry for a calligraphy company and had greeting cards, from my poems, and the joy that I could see people getting from getting a card with a poem that I wrote on it is just wonderful. Um, I like to make other people happy, and words sometimes can make people happy. Sometimes people need to hear things they don't realize they need to hear. Uh, I just did a video the other day about grief, and I know that's not something that people talk about every day, but I had had some close friends lose someone that meant a lot to them, and I wanted to let them know that it was okay to grieve, because they were having some conflicting thoughts about, I know I feel like I need to be okay for everybody else and maybe not cry in front of somebody, and I wanted to let them know that that's okay. That's part of life. It's the way we do. But um, words mean a lot to people, and they can heal, they can hurt, but they can also give you clarity. And so, hence the reason behind the journal. Um, and there's going to be some other things in and out of boxes that I think will be special editions. There's another special edition in the first box that I think is going to be um, delightful, that I didn't realize I needed to put in the box. And I don't want to tell you exactly what it is because I don't want to spoil any surprises for anybody, but it's kind of funny. I'll tell a story about it once the box comes out, but it's something that after I did it, I was like, I would have never thought in a million years I would put this in for other women to enjoy, but I've actually really enjoyed it, because everything that I put in the box, I test out myself. I do myself. I see how it makes me feel. And do I get some joy from it? Do I enjoy it? Does it feel easy enough? Does it feel simple enough so that people can enjoy having that downtime? And so this particular thing I did, and I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed it and how much it made me smile. And I hope that's the kind of reaction that women get from this particular item as well. So that's kind of the things that I want the box to be for other women. I just want it to be your monthly pause that you get, that it's been sent directly to you, for you, about you, not to share with anybody else, not to you let your kids go through and look at it and go, oh, I want to do this with you, I want to take care of this. No, I want you to do it. I want you to experience it. I want you to know that I sat and thought about you when I put these things together. And I thought about what women as a whole needed or wanted to experience that they don't get to do on an everyday basis. So yeah, that's a little bit about the box. I call it the reset box, because I want it to be a reset for you. I want you to just take that time and be calm, collected, enjoy, maybe giggle a little bit, maybe make some mistakes or do something funny or write something down that you hadn't thought about. And I just want you to have that experience. I want you to know that you're worth it and you deserve it. And we should start taking control of our time a little better to reset our minds and our hearts and our soul. So yeah, that's about the box. Sure, sure. So everything that I put in the box, I test out. I try to get the experience that you would have opening the box and doing these things, because I want to know what it's like. Because if it's not going to be enjoyable, I don't want to put it in the box. Because I want you to have items that bring you joy. That bring you some comfort, bring you some peace and some relaxation. So yeah, so I've, put something in the box that I would have never put in, ever thought in a million years I'd have put that in there. But in doing it, I found some calm and some sense of accomplishment. And I found myself smiling, and I was super proud of what I had done. And I was like, I should have been doing this more often. I don't know why I haven't thought about that I could do this. It wasn't hard. It was one of the most simple things I'd ever done. And I think I had overcomplicated it in my head. And I was super proud. So I'll certainly tell that story once everybody gets a box. And it's going to seem so simple and so silly, but you learn things about yourself. I think that's another thing about the reset box that I want people to experience, is maybe learn a little more about some likes, some dislikes, some things that you didn't know whether you would enjoy or not. Maybe taste some things that you might not would have normally tasted. I just want it to be a great experience for women. I want it to be just for you. I want it to be nothing that you share. You don't even have to tell anybody about it if you don't want to. Let it be your box. Somebody says, hey, what did you get? Just nothing. It's for me. Don't worry about it. But just take it somewhere and find some time to enjoy. Even if you can't do it all at one time, break it up into minutes, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and just have some good old-fashioned me time. Enjoy. And then I'd love to hear what everybody thought about it, and what you liked, what you didn't necessarily like, what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like for me to include. I'm always up for suggestions. But I just want it to be a fun time, just a little time out for women to enjoy. We are so busy all the time doing the things, and we deserve to have some me time. So
I
that's what the box is about.
I love this, Jennifer, and it might seem a departure from my podcast to be talking with you, but I don't think that it is, because women who are running their own businesses or their own homesteads or
Mhm.
their own farms, they're busy and they're
They
tired.
are.
And
Yes.
my piece is I get up early on purpose. I'm usually up at
Mm-hmm.
4 a.m. so that
Mm-hmm.
I can get up and get a cup of coffee and go sit out on my little porch with the windows open, drink
Mm-hmm.
my coffee and listen to the crickets singing and watch
Mm-hmm.
the sun come up and hear the birds start to sing.
Right.
That's my piece.
Yes.
And my husband said the other day, he said, "Do you get enough sleep?" And I was like, "Never." And he said, "But you're up at 4 every day." And I was like, "'Cause I need to start my day
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
way. It's the
Yeah.
only real ritual that I have." And he was like, "But if you slept till 6," and I'm like, "I can't sleep till 6, 4." So I feel like you're giving people a a ritual starting place.
Right. 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 A little bit of a purpose. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds a little crazy, because women have so many things they consider their purpose, but we are a priority, and we don't take enough time to realize that. And it's so important to put back in what you need to put out. Um, and that's what I want this box to be. I just want it to be a little bit of encouragement for you to stop and pause and enjoy some things, and know that I have I have put together these items because I want to see you smile. I want to see you enjoy. I want to see you take that deep breath and go, That was fun. I enjoyed that. Um, so those are the things that I want for women. I so want women to feel included and purposeful, not just for somebody else, but for themselves. And our women are built strong. We are some very strong women. We have broad shoulders to hold up most anything that comes at us. And, um, but we also need to relax those shoulders too. We need to let them drop and just take that deep breath and just go, what do I need? What can make me feel a little better? What can give me some pause and some relaxation? Because we worry about everybody else so much, we don't think about us. So yeah, so I'm hoping everybody gets that from the box.
I'm sure that they will. This sounds like something that would be a great present for a woman.
Yes, yes,
So I know you have a waiting list on your website because you're
yes.
not quite ready to launch until
Right,
September.
right.
So if a husband or a partner wanted to sign their
Hmm.
wife or their partner up, they can just sign up for the waiting list?
They absolutely could. And I want to tell you, your wife would think you were the best person in the world if you gave them this gift. Because, it means you stopped for a minute and you thought about what they needed. And women just want to know that you thought about us, that you think about what we need and put our needs first sometimes. So, yeah, it would be a perfect gift for your wife, your sister, your aunt, your mom, even. Um, but right now you can go to, excuse me, magnoliamorningco.com and you can put your name on our wait list. It's actually only going to be just a couple of weeks before we open the doors for you to purchase. But if you're on that wait list, you're going to get first dibs. I have a limited number of boxes to send out this first time, and I want you to be one of them to be able to get one. So that would be the quickest way, is to get on that wait list and to know that you've got the information right there in front of you, because I'm going to send it to the wait list before I send it to anybody else. So yeah.
Exciting. I'm so tickled that you're doing this, and I know why you're doing this. As the adult child of two alcoholics, you
Mm-hmm.
were taught to please people and
Yes.
think about other people. And you're taking something that started from a bad situation and reclaiming it for something good. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. I didn't realize that I would enjoy this as much as I did, but I enjoy telling the story and encouraging other women to take time for themselves, because it's so very important.
It really is, and we forget, and especially the moms that are still in the trenches raising little kids.
Yes.
You ladies have got to find time for yourselves, even if it's only, I don't know, half an hour. If you can just get
Yeah.
half an hour. I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again before I let you go. There's
Mm-hmm.
12 years difference between my oldest and my youngest.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest is 36 and she's a girl. My youngest is going to be 25
Mm-hmm.
in December. So he was a newborn and she was 12 when I brought him home from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only girl out of 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And once he got to the point where he wasn't quite so fragile, he wasn't so new,
Mm-hmm.
she was really good with him. She would change his diapers. If I needed to use the bathroom, she would hold him. She
Mm-hmm.
was she was a really good big sister. He sees her more as an aunt than a sister because
Right.
of the big
Right.
difference in age. But when he was about 2, I was really tired. 4 kids is a lot in that.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I just looked at her and I said, I need half an hour. Do you think you could handle half an hour with him so I can just go read a book or something for 20 minutes? And she was like, of course, we'll play Legos. I was like, okay. So and it was Duplos, not Legos. Duplos are the big fat Legos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had a blast, and I got to go crawl into a book I'd been dying to start for 2 years, and I got a chance to breathe.
Yeah.
You have to ask for help, and I didn't feel bad asking her because she adored him,
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really weird thing when you have spent your life being strong and independent as a woman, and you just finally hit that wall where you're like, I just need 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it's hard for women to do, I think. It's always been hard for me to ask for help. I have never, ever wanted to ask anybody for help because not because I didn't want help, but because I didn't want to inconvenience somebody else. I
Yeah.
didn't want to burden somebody else with what I had going on. So I would just try and do all the things. And I got into overload really quick. As you don't raise 5 kids and not be an overload at some time. And so I guess maybe the box can be that little bit of help. It comes to you at your front door to just say, hey, take a minute. Here's something for you. Just take a minute and enjoy and relax. Lord knows women need to relax a little bit. We're so busy. But it's funny that you said that about your kids, because my kids are 10 years. My first two are 10 years apart.
Mhm.
So I know exactly how that is, that relationship that they have. And then my other ones are kind of stair-stepped. But yeah, so my kids are ranged from 34 to 15. And, but those teenage girls I got 2 teenage girls, and I'm going to tell you, if I'd had those 2 teenage girls at the same time first, I don't know that I'd had any more children, because those girls are wearing me out.
It's so funny. My daughter was the easiest of the 4, I swear to you.
Yeah, those girls are something
I
else. Those
lucked out
girls are
big.
something
She's
else.
fantastic.
That's
Yep.
awesome. That's
All
awesome.
right, so where can people find you, Jennifer, online? Is it magnoliamorningcompany.com?
Right. It's Magnolia Morning Co. That's CO and then
Cool.
.com. And feel free to ask any questions. You can always email me at hello@magnoliamorningco.com. I'll be happy to answer any of the questions that you have. But probably in the next, I don't know, 10, 12 days, we'll be opening the doors, because I want you to get your first box in September. And I want you to start enjoying some of the things that I've put together for you. So, yeah, I'd love to talk to anybody and love to get some feedback once people get some boxes of what you think and what you like.
I am so excited for you. I can't wait to see how this new project turns out.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking to you today.
I enjoyed talking to you too. As always, people can find me at a tinyhomesteadpodcast.com. Jennifer, have a great weekend.
Thanks. You too.